Today I'm going to do a review of the Timbuck2 Blitz Pack. This is a 28 liter, 3-pound travel pack, and it's one in a family of 3 different packs that Timbuck2 offers. This is the middle one, which I think is the most attractive of the 3. If you want to look at the other ones, the family includes the Blink pack, which is the smallest one at 1.6 pounds and 24 liter capacity. Then of course there's this one, the Blitz pack, which is about 3 pounds as far as weight and 28 liters capacity. Then the final one, the biggest one of the 3, is the Wanderer, which weighs in at 3.7 pounds and is a 40 liter capacity, so much bigger. So that jump up from this guy to the bigger one is pretty substantial. 40 liters is quite a bit. This one you can take on the plane, you can put it under the seat in front of you, and for that carry-on option, it's a great pack. The smaller one, of course, you could do that as well, but you're going to lose out on some of the volume, and it's just not going to fit as much of your stuff. So if you're going on some little quick day trips or something like that, or maybe it's a daily carry going to the office, then the small one might be sufficient. If you're traveling, then I think this would probably be the one that you would be looking at. So that's the family. Now let's get into this particular pack and what you're going to get out of this, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, so let's start off with the outside construction material. We've got this kind of ripstop sailclothy type of material. It has kind of a not a rubber feel, but it's actually nice. When you touch it, it's like, okay, this is a nice material. It's a little bit heavier than some of the sailcloth material that I'm used to. It doesn't crinkle or look aged like some of the sailcloth does typically. So it's nice that way. And so overall, I'd say the material is good. It's nice. This is a nice black material. So it does look quite quality-ish, right? Because quality-ish, is that a word? I don't know, but I like it. I like it, okay? And then you've got these compression straps on the side, and I'm kind of on the fence with the compression straps here, right? So if you're not going to fasten something to the side here, like maybe your tripod or something like that, which these would be good for, they're kind of in the way. And to unzip this, because it is a clamshell style pack, you're going to have to undo these, do these up all the time. So they don't come off, they're there permanently, unlike some of the straps that you can remove. So on the fence with that, that's going to be your personal preference. I'm used to them, so it's fine. Let's take a look at some of the pockets on the outside now. And the first one is this middle pocket here on the outside. There's 2 pockets here. There's this one here on the side, and there's this one here on the top. I always like to have some of those smaller pockets like that to be able to put my passport or maybe some money or maybe my boarding pass or keys or whatever, right? So it's nice to have a couple options there to go to. So if we open up this guy here, now I have to say the zippers I don't feel are YYK zippers, and if they are, I don't know what's going on there, but they're not smooth. So they're okay. I would say, you know, middle of the road quality, but I haven't had any issues. They just don't feel as smooth as, you know, maybe a Mystery Ranch or a Tortuga brand of pack, right? This is not the shining area of this pack, right, as the zippers, I wouldn't say. So there's that, but fine, sufficient, right? This pocket, fairly deep. You could put quite a bit of stuff in there. And it goes right down to the bottom of the pack here, right? So all the way to the bottom. So it's actually really big, much bigger than you would initially think. So that zips up. And then there's this top one, right? This is the very top of the bag. Room for your wallet, of course, right? And there's room for your keys and stuff like that. I would probably have this as all my vital items, maybe my wallet or some money, things like that I need to get to very quickly. So again, this zipper is not too bad. Maybe it's because this zipper is like stuck in there a little bit. But this zipper, yeah, it's not super smooth, but not bad. All right, so let's keep looking at the outside of this, okay? We're going to look at the straps here. You can see these straps, pretty plain looking straps. There's nothing, no robust padding here. It's actually pretty thin. So for this pack, because it is, you know, middle of the road pack, I don't expect to see huge padding. Although a little more would be nice, because you can actually fit a lot of stuff in here, and if that stuff is heavy, like camera gear or something like that, this is going to be pulling on your shoulders. So would be nice to get a little more padding on these, although this is not uncomfortable, and I have had it loaded up pretty good. There's almost no padding on the back here, which is a little disappointing. I would expect to see a little bit more. I mean, it's quite flat, right? So on the Tortuga, you've got these big, huge pads, and on a lot of the other ones too, you'd have a little more padding. There's also no ventilation here, so this is going to be flat against your back. So not ideal again. But if you're just wearing this for travel and it's going to go on top of your luggage or something like that, under the seat, this is probably not a deal breaker for you, but it is something that I think is a slight deficiency. The other thing that I would have liked to have seen on this bag is a luggage pass-through. So I would like to be able to put this on top of my luggage. However, I can't really do that because there is no luggage pass-through for the handle of the luggage to come up through there. So that would have been pretty easy to do. However, they didn't do it. So again, staying on the outside here, we've got these two handles. This is the classic design for handles. You've got one on the side here and one on the top. If you're loading this into a plane, if you're putting it into the overhead, it's really nice to have two handles, one on the side, one on the top. That's what I always look for. So great job, Timbuck2, on that. And the handle quality is not bad. The handle quality is, I would say, better than average. And when you feel the handles, it's got a little bit of squishiness, right? So it's comfortable to hold. If this is weighted down and it's pulling on your hand like that, it's not going to cut into your hand like some of the handles we see that are just a plain piece of nylon strap, which is super cheap, right? I mean, this is actually not too bad. It's pretty good. So these straps actually can also tuck away. So if you want to carry it like a suitcase, very much like some of the other brands like Tortuga, you can unclip it at the bottom here and put these straps in this pocket here like that. And I think that's part of the reason why they don't have the suitcase carry through. So your handle would go straight through this so you can then put it on top of your luggage. I think that's why they don't have that. I would have preferred that personally myself because I don't often tuck these away. On the Tortuga model, for example, that brand, you can actually do both. So they have that. So I think in that respect, Tortuga does better in this regard. So for design, their design is not perfect either. There are some problems with that because once you put the straps in, then to put your luggage handle through, it gets in the way. So even though they do that, it doesn't work perfectly. So I don't know what the best answer for that is. If you do this and you have the same problem, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how to solve that problem of being able to hide your straps and also have the luggage pass through for your luggage handle as well. Anyway, moving on, let's take a look at how these work. So when I put these on, nice design, I can put my thumbs in there and I could pull these down to make it fit perfectly. As you may have noticed, the chest strap has fallen down, and that's what typically happens with this, is that this guy here is not super effective in how it actually stays on here. And I gotta move it up. It's kind of stuck here now. So it gets caught in this. There we go. There we go. See, now I gotta bring it up like that. Like, I'm not gonna do that every time. I'm actually just gonna take that off. I think most of you are not gonna need this chest strap anyway, right? Most of us don't use that unless you have a super heavy load. So then I do that up like this. There we go. I'm all set. Now that's kind of set up there now. There we go. And let's see. And then I can move the straps on the side here to hide this strap and get that out of the way. This one here has come off, so that's fine. But yeah, you can adjust this so that these straps are more streamlined up to your body like that so they don't get caught on things in the airport or as you're moving through your car or something like that, which is nice. So now if we take a look, that's how it fits on your body. So pretty good, right? I mean, it's a mid-sized pack. We're kind of still in the 20-liter category, although we're kind of at the high level of that. So it's quite comfortable as far as where it's sitting on my hips. So my height is 5'9", so I'm 5'9", I'm average height, right? And so for me, it fits really well. I can feel the bottom of the pack right on my hips here. I can feel the top of the pack is, shoulder level. So actually perfect. The way that it sits feels really good. You may have noticed there's no waist strap here. And with this size of a pack, I don't think you need it, and I don't think you want it, because if you had it, it's one more thing to catch on things, And with this size, you know, it's going to be quite small, and usually the small ones will dig into your hips anyway, and you don't use them a lot, and it's just going to add weight to the pack. So I would say that the design is good that way. I would suggest maybe you just get rid of the chest strap because it's going to move around and be inconvenient for you anyway. But yeah, so that's the strap system. I could use a little bit more padding on the straps for sure. I could prefer a little bit more padding on the back area here, maybe with some ventilation. That would be nice, but it probably would drive the price up as well. So there's that. Okay, one more thing that we should talk about regarding the outside of this bag, and that is there is no water bottle holder. Now, that might be a deal breaker for you, and for me, I kind of prefer to have that. Although, on a lot of the bags that I've tested, the water bottle holders that they have usually are not that good. So they've eliminated that problem by just getting rid of it, right? So I think that it's not necessarily the end of the world. I think you could put the water bottle that you have either inside of this, you could strap it onto this with these compression straps, right? That might work. Have an external add-on that could work. So, and that might work even better. I'm not sure. But if you're doing that, let me know. I'd love to hear about that because I've never found one that worked really well. So is it a bad thing that it's not on here? I don't know. I don't think so. So there's that. Okay, now that we've looked at the outside of the bag, the construction, the compression straps, the back strap, the pockets, the handles, let's take a look now at the inside of this bag. And we'll start from the outside. So on the outside, we'll unzip it, and we've got that initial compartment, the big compartment, and it unzips all the way around. So I'm going to undo my compression straps, get these guys out of the way, and let's take a look at that, okay? So I can go all the way down to here. It's interesting because it's a side clamshell style, right? Whereas some of the other ones, it stops at the bottom and unfolds that way. This one actually unfolds sideways. So, oh, I missed a strap. So there you go, like that, right? Like, look at all this room. This is crazy how much room is in here. And let me just hold it up like that so you can see it, right? Like, look at that. You can almost fit in there. So on this side here, this is the big empty area. You've got the typical straps like this where you can put your clothes in and then clip this to hold everything in place. With a pack like this, I mean, this is really the trend now, right? Where you have just a big bucket type of pack. And the reason for that is because they expect you to use packing cubes. Packing cubes are really the new way to go with packing your luggage. You put different bits of luggage in each one of these packs, and then you load it into this great big bucket type of area. And it works really well, and then you can cinch it down with these straps as well. So you get a lot more stuff compressed into a small area. I'll put some links to some of those in the description below, as well as these different packs as well, so you can take a look at all the options, all the mix and match potential that you have with this and packing cubes. So back to this. So you've got your big area here, and at the bottom here as well, you've got an area, another pocket, which I haven't shown you yet, which is kind of like your shoe pocket. And it unzips like this. And inside of here, actually, this is where I carry my micro spikes for when it snows here. And I can put these on my shoes. But there's a little, let me show you. There's a little pocket right here. And it doesn't go into the main compartment, so it's separate. The construction's a little bit more heavy duty, so if you're putting your shoes in here, you don't have to worry about that. You just jam them in there. And if they're all muddy and dirty, it's not going to impact anything that's in your pack. It's not going to make everything dirty, which is great. I've always been on the fence as far as having these sort of shoe pockets, because if you don't use it, it's a bit of a waste of space. However, if you're not going to put your shoes in here, I think it also makes a good pocket for things you want to get access to right away. So when you're on the plane, my big thing is always I want to be able to grab stuff out of my pack as easily as possible. You know, I'm always standing over somebody on my tippy toes trying to grab the overhead area to grab my toothbrush or my headphones or something, and it's never a good experience. So being able to just unzip, grab, and go, I think that has a lot of potential. So even if you don't envision using this for your shoes, I think as a traveler, it does have a lot of potential for other stuff, like that quick grab stuff, right? So let me zip that back up. So that's that. Now, going to the other side here, we've got this, which is just the lid. but you've got a nice mesh pocket here where you can put some stuff. The reason why that's nice is because you can see what's in there. And so rather than trying to check every pocket, okay, is it here, is it here, is it here, which I often do because I forget where I put stuff, you can immediately see it. Oh yeah, there's my toothbrush. Oh, there's my gum. Oh, there's my battery charger or my cable, right? So it's good that way. I like the way that they do that. If I unzip this guy, then you can kind of see you get plenty of space there, so you could put a lot of stuff. Of course, the mesh, having a big mesh pocket like this maybe is not ideal if you're putting a lot of heavy stuff in there. So I wouldn't load it up with camera gear necessarily, but for like gum, cables, socks, hat, whatever, that sort of light stuff, it's perfect, right? So that's both areas on the inside. That pretty much covers it as far as pockets. There's not a lot of stuff going on here. But again, like I said, for the most flexible packing system, what I always look for is a great big bucket style compartment where I can put all my packing cubes in there and organize it the way I want to organize it. For me, when I'm traveling, this is on my back, and I have a carry-on luggage which has all my other stuff, all my big clothes and everything like that. For this, I'm putting camera gear in here, I'm putting some food in there, I'm putting some clothes that I immediately need access to when I'm on the plane or when I get out of the airport, that sort of stuff. So that's what this is for. And packing cubes and little gear boxes and stuff like that really work well with this system. So I would recommend this bag. It's about $100 US on sale. It goes up to about 130, so anywhere from 130 to 100 US dollars. It's available on Amazon if you want to check it out. Look at the reviews as well. It's a great spot to see that. So yeah, I would recommend it if you're in the market. I think the other competitor for this would be the Timbuck2. I've also reviewed that. If you want to go look at that review, I'll put the link up in one of these corners. I can never tell which corner it is, but you'll find it, I'm sure. So take a look at that, see how it compares. Both are good bags. I think that this one may be a little bit cheaper than the Tortuga, but take a look. They're both really good, and see which one works for you. With that, that's the end of the review. Hopefully that was helpful for you. If you liked this review, please hit the like button below. It means a lot to me. It tells me what kind of content you prefer so I can make more of that content for you. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe and you'll be alerted to future content so you can keep up to date with all the product reviews and destination reviews and travel hacks that I'll be doing over the upcoming months. So with that, thanks a lot and safe travels.